Hi guys, this is Roland from Email Hippo, and today I'm going to be talking about disposable email addresses. So, what is a disposable email address and why do you care? Well, a disposable email address is an email address that anybody can use, and you can use it temporarily and it will disappear. It will be gone. And one of the main features of disposable email addresses is that you do not need to divulge your identity when signing up for services using disposable email addresses, and that's one of its main key features. Why do you care? Well, as a user of disposable email addresses, probably you don't care because you're getting an email address that you can use to protect your identity, and that's great. Why do you care on the other side of the fence? Why would you care as somebody who's operating a business, for example, that uses email addresses or collects email addresses in some way? Then you will care about disposable email addresses, because the quality of your email list and the quality of your user and customer database has a direct impact on your business. So you might want to think about the impact on your business of allowing disposable email addresses into your system, and what you do with those email addresses and the decisions you make in your business as a result of people signing up for your service with disposable email addresses. So today is a free-form video. I don't really have a script to follow. I thought what we would do together is to just go through a search engine and see what comes out the back of the search engine. Really, I have no clue about what we're going to find here today in September 2017. But let's go and have a look. So let's get started. So I'm going to type disposable email address here and see what comes back. Okay, so we've got some results. So at the top we've got some providers, and then halfway down we've got Wikipedia. That's interesting. Let's go and see what Wikipedia has to say about disposable email addresses. I'm not going to read out the whole lot here, but the first couple of sentences, let's just go through that. So disposable email address, or DEA, refers to an approach where a unique email address is used for every contact or entity. The benefit is that if anyone compromises the address or utilizes it in connection with email abuse, the address owner can easily cancel or dispose of it without affecting any of their other contacts. Such disposable addresses are generally provided by a service company, whether it's paid or free, that forwards mail from the DEA to the actual address. But email sub-addressing techniques can also be used to provide a subset of similar advantages. So in a nutshell, let's just break that down. So Wikipedia are talking about DEAs from the perspective of a consumer, so from the perspective of you or I, who and sometimes we need an email address to complete a financial transaction online at checkout, or sometimes we need an email address to sign up for a user account to use a service that we want to use or try. So we're talking about it in that context. Wikipedia is talking about it in that context, and these DEAs can be a great thing if we're worried about our identity, or if we're worried about being included on spam lists. So this is what we're talking about here: email abuse. That predominantly be spam. So for those purposes, brilliant. So it would be really useful to us. You can also get the similar features from this concept called sub-addressing. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but you can use a technique called tumbling. You can Google that for more information, and that's available in some email providers. I know particularly it's available in Gmail or Google for Business. You can create sub addresses, so there's no need to use a specific DEA provider. Gmail can offer that ability out the box. Let's just go back. So I'm going to click on some of the top results, and let's just go and find out a little bit more about these providers. So here we are. So here's the top result for disposable email addresses. And here I've got an interface, and if you skip past the advertising here, you're actually into the meat of the functionality. So I've got an address here, dfwsczlj@sharklasers.com, or alias this thing here. So I can right click on this, copy into my clipboard, and then in theory I can now use this address to go and do things like complete a financial transaction at checkout. I could use this email address to sign up for a social media account. I could use this email address to sign up for free services, trial services, and any email that comes my way using this temporary email address would rock up down here. So I would be able to pick that email address, that email up from this interface. So here's the introductory email from this provider. If I chose to register, then I would expect to see more emails cropping up down there. And so I could do this all under the guise of being completely anonymous and know that I'm not going to get spammed, because this email address, when I close the browser, this email address will disappear. It's gone. So what does Email Hippo think about this? Well, let me just copy that back into the clipboard, and let's have a look at our main toolset that we offer our customers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the real-time verify email address page, and here's one I did earlier, but let me do this again. So I'm going to paste that into there, and I'm going to see what Email Hippo thinks about it. So mailbox verification result, we don't know whether it's an okay or a bad email address, whether you can send to it, but we do have some more views on it. So Hippo Trust Score, would we recommend that as somebody on the receiving end of this disposable email address, whether that's you're a service provider or you're offering physical or digital goods online, that you trust this email address? Absolutely not. And we issue a start warning here as well. So we've detected this as a disposable email address. Our advice to anybody wishing to engage with this is don't bother sending an email, because as soon as that browser tab is closed, nobody's going to receive your email. If anybody receives an email from this, our advice would be to block it and don't include it on your mailing list. So that's what we think about it. Let's go back to this provider and have a little bit more of an explore around. What does this do? Oh, okay. So I can use a bunch of domains of my choosing, and I'm not stuck with shark lasers. Is that right? So let's have a look. Let's have a look at GRRLA. Okay, that's interesting. So now it's given me another email address. Why would it do that? Why would it do that? Why not stick with sharklasers.com or gorillamail.info? I can only guess that what we're trying to do here is to avoid detection, to allow people to carry on registering for sites and completing financial transactions without being detected, because it'd be pretty easy for people to block Gorilla Mail or words containing Gorilla Mail if they don't want disposable email addresses on their sites or in their services. So using a bunch of these, I could try these. If I can't get in with Gorilla Mail or register with Gorilla Mail, maybe one of these other addresses will work. Let's have a look. So I copy that and see what we think about it at Email Hippo. Just paste that in there. Oh, we've detected that as a disposable email address as well, with the same result as Gorilla Mail. Let's try some more. Okay, what about poke mail? Let's copy that in. Copy that in. Let's see what Email Hippo thinks about that. Goodness gracious, we've detected poke mail as well. Good. Is there any more that I could use to not be detected? Let's have a look. Spam for me. And copy that into Email Hippo. Wow. Okay, so Email Hippo's detected that as well. All right. So for anybody using Email Hippo services to verify email addresses, you might not have much success using this particular provider when signing up for services that are underpinned or use Email Hippo email validation technology. So you'd be out of luck with that one. Let's have a look at some of the other providers. Throwaway mail. Let's have a look. Throwaway mail. All right. Okay. Wow. So I've got a video playing down in the bottom right there. I may or may not like the Flash. I personally I happen to like the Flash, but it's not everybody's cup of tea. Oh goodness, what's popped up there? Wow, wasn't really what I had in mind. So there's a pop-up. I didn't do anything to invite that pop-up. Let's just close that down and click here to show your email. Okay, so I've then got a prove I'm not a robot. I'm not a robot. Why would I need to prove I'm not a robot, I wonder? Okay. All right. Maybe it's because this particular provider is trying to prevent automated robots coming to its site and picking up the email addresses and putting them on lists such as ours. Let me have a look at this email address here, this disposable email address. So again, I could use this disposable email address to complete financial transactions, complete checkouts, register for social media accounts, register for trial services, and let's have a look. Oh, more pop-ups, goodness, fascinating. And let's have a look at what Email Hippo thinks about that. Okay, so this is unverifiable according to us, and we didn't pick that up as a disposable email address this time around. So we were not successful, but what we were successful in is in giving this an appropriate score. So we're saying on a rating out of 10 that this will not give you a completely satisfactory result as a supplier. Okay, so I've just taken note of that disposable domain, and we'll investigate that later, and that will go onto our list. Yeah, well done, Throwaway Mail, for evading us for a minute. That will change shortly. So okay, so looking at this, what else can we talk about with this? So operating an email service, whether that's whether that's regular email, such as free mail, office mail, or AOL or Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo, or that type of service. Operating that infrastructure costs a lot of money, and it's got to be paid for somehow. And it's no different with disposable email address providers. So they need the ability to receive email on your behalf and forward it on to you, and in some cases offer you the ability to send email as well. So all that infrastructure costs money. All the servers with disks and networking, it's got to be paid for somewhere. So one of the interesting things as we go around these providers is, how is this paid for? And obviously this is a free service. It's not asked me for money anywhere. So what's the monetization? What's the monetization route here? Let's just have a look how this provider pays its bills. Well, there's an advert just popped up down there with a video. So that would be one way of monetizing. And also the pop-up we saw earlier, that would be another way of monetizing it. So this is sort of on-site advertisements. There we go. So I did nothing, and I suspect that if I click through on any of this content here, then there's going to be a payback for this site. Let's go back in Google. So here's another one, Temp Mail. Okay. So, right. What do we know about this one? So this is my inbox, which is empty for now. I could this is my email address. I could use this to sign up for services or complete checkouts, or whatever I want to do with it, really. Let's just have a look what Email Hippo thinks about it. And it's been detected as a disposable email address. So anybody using our services will be able to detect this as being a low quality email address, because it is temporary. Let's just have a look. So what can I do with that email address? Copy to clipboard, or I just right-clicked copy. I could just click the button. That'd be convenient. I can refresh the message list. Nobody's sent me anything. I can change the email address. Oh, okay. Let's have a look. Oh, alrighty. So, domains. So we've seen this before. It gives me the ability to choose different domains if the one that I'm trying to use is blocked or recognized as being a disposable email address. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'm just going to click on one at random that doesn't look like a disposable email address. So I don't know. Zipcad. That looks reasonably legitimate, I suppose. Presumably that's who I want to be. Save. All right. So I'm now me at zipcad.com, and I can use this as a temporary email address. So I'm going to do it the easy way now. Click on copy to my clipboard and then see what Email Hippo thinks about it. And it's been picked up as a disposable email address. So we've been successful in picking that one up. Let me try a couple more domains. Morsin. Let's just go with that, man. Copy, paste it into Hippo. And it's been picked up as a disposable. Wow. Crust host. Let's try that one. Save. Copy again. And verify. And it's been picked up as a disposable email address. So on this particular provider, if I was wanting to use this provider and to sign up for a service that was the vendor was using Email Hippo services, I wouldn't get a lot of success with signing up for services or checking out with this provider potentially. So let's just go back into Google. Bit of a journey back there. Okay, let's click on the next link and talk a little bit about that. So, digital trends. What is this? Oh, we've got more videos playing in the bottom right-hand corner. Not familiar with this site. Digital Trends wants to show notifications. So for Chrome, that's the pop-ups that we get on news occasionally. I don't actually want to allow that, so I'm going to block it. I don't want to receive updates, and I don't really want to know about the 40 best drone photos. So I'll click on that. Quick scan of this article. Let's not hover around this. This is like a directory for different disposable email address providers. Interesting. Okay, so we've come across some of these. So Gorilla Mail is one that we visited. 10-minute mail, we haven't been there. Goodness, this looks like another drop down for rotating domains, for choosing different domains if you can't use your disposable email address. Hide my ass. Browser extensions. Goodness, so that's quite a useful resource as a directory for disposable email address providers. And let's just go through some more providers. GetNada. All right. Use GetNada instead of your real email. Okay, how temporary email works. When you register to the service, we give you a temporary email address. Use this temporary email when registering to untrusted websites. This way the site will send spam to your temporary email address whilst your real address stays safe. Well, of course, there's an assumption here that every site that you sign up for is just in business to send you spam. At Email Hippo, that's certainly not our objective, and we don't send unsolicited email. And I suspect there's a lot of other businesses around the world whose primary mission in life is not to get your email address and send you spam. So there's a big assumption there. So what do you get? You get temporary disposable email addresses. Keep your real inbox safe and clean. 100% free. I wonder how this is paid for. How these guys maintain the infrastructure. We'll have some thoughts on that in a minute. No sign-up passwords. Choose any inbox ID you like. That's the bit before the @ sign. Lasts forever. Anybody can access any address. Isn't that a bit of a security problem? If somebody else uses an email address and I can go and access it, all the messages, wouldn't that be a little bit of a security concern perhaps? I don't know. Privacy guaranteed. No IP address logging. If you don't want to be tracked, that's fine. That's what they say. Okay. All right. So let's go and do the business on this. Get me an inbox. Okay. So here we are. With a bit about how does this provider pay for its infrastructure? The answer is with advertising. So there's some Google sponsored listings here. So that's fine. So let's use this address here. So I'm going to click the button, copy, and see what Email Hippo thinks about it. Detected as a disposable email address. So we've got that one. Was it add more, add random? What does that do? Let's have a look. Add more. So we've got again the drop down, so I can add lots of different domains if my one's being blocked. Okay, so I didn't have very much luck with cars2.club. Let's have a look at, I don't know, a .com. Yeah. Please fill out this. So I'll fill it out. There we go. Add. Oh wow. Well, here's some. Obviously, somebody else has used this email address here to sign up for some services. And I've got access to that inbox. So first of all, let me go and see what Email Hippo thinks about it, and then we'll go through and have a look at some of these messages. So copy that into here, and Email Hippo's picked it up or identified it as being a disposable domain. Let's get back to this. Let's have a little look at what is in this inbox that somebody else or other people have used this email address to sign up for. What's this? Lots of adverts. That really is spam, isn't it? and that's from sharewaresaleonline.com. Not familiar with that, but it appears that they are sending some spam, in my view. I could delete that so nobody else has to enjoy reading that. Remember, this is somebody else's emails that I'm accessing now, simply by registering that address there. So this is from voucher.co.uk, and okay. Why would somebody use a disposable email address to sign up with Voucher? Should we find out? Let's go to this site. Oh, okay. So what does it do? It gives you up to 80% off restaurants, spas, gadgets, and more. But there is a barrier to getting access to those deals, in that you need to enter your email address. Interesting. So if I want access to some vouchers, they want my email address. Yeah, I don't think so. I too would think about using a disposable email address. So obviously this is what's happened here. So let me just let's have a look at another provider and see how this works, so you can see end to end. So I'm going to type in disposable. I'll go to Google again. Google. There we go. So I'm going to type in disposable email address. Let's go use another provider. Let's go use Gorilla Mail. Shark lasers. Let me just pick that one up. So I'm going to use that email address in here. Go to deals. Invalid email address. Okay, so Voucher knows about Gorilla Mail, does it? Let's try another one. Spam for me. Does it know about that one? Go to detail deals. It knows about that one as well. All right, so Voucher is doing something about disposable email addresses. Let's try another disposable provider. Let's try the next one down. Let's try Temp Mail. All right. So copy that, and if you are voucher.co.uk, by the way, I do apologise for putting rubbish in your system, but for the purposes of the video, it just so happened that organically you came up, so I am sorry. Okay, so now I've got access to all the vouchers and the deals, which is what I wanted in the first place. And Voucher have got a valuable lead, or what they think is a valuable lead, in my email address, me@crusthost.com, when in fact it's a temporary thing, and as soon as I close this tab, it's gone. So what has Voucher done? They've sent me an email address. They sent me an email to this disposable address with all the promotions and stuff in it, and no doubt I'm now on a mailing list, and I'll be receiving emails for a while, but I won't, because this is temporary, and I've got exactly what I wanted, which was to get through to the front page. So as a marketing strategy, building your list of email addresses with me@crusthost.com, I've put a pretty low value email into this marketing system behind Voucher, and I'm never going to buy anything. I just used it to get to the front page there. So I don't know Voucher, but I would suspect that their conversion rate in terms of sending emails versus people that buy from those emails could be improved a little bit, I guess would be a polite way of saying it. But anyway, so